Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Once again, I'm Nev from Nev's Tac Bits, otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood basement dweller. Don't worry, ma'am, I am from the internet. And coming from the internet, I gotta tell you, y'all are a little bit crazy ever since you got onto the internet. There was a time when I was the only one I knew who was addicted to the internet. And now everyone's addicted to the internet. Each and every person. Everyone is more addicted to it because they want to know what their stars are doing, the fans, all these interesting people, social media. I can't stand society. I love people. I love people. I can't stand society. It's just like being a lawyer in the law system. Eventually you get your heart broken so much from situations like 12 Angry Men and Justice for All and A Just Cause that it kind of breaks your heart, right? Well, I've been a little bit burned and I'm kind of in the middle of a cool down period, but I legitimately feel like if I don't tell people the information that I see that's coming to hurt us, our future, our children directly, psychologically. I'm not worried about global warming. I'm not worried about Muslims. I'm not worried about whatever people try to pit people with if they want to make them look bad. What I want to point out is that guys, we got some personal responsibility on our hands that we need to be dishing out to get kids away from frickin' TikTok, because TikTok has warped people's minds, particularly children, particularly during COVID when we had nothing to do but avoid each other. TikTok's misinformation is warping young people's understanding of ADHD. Some 1.8 billion people logging into TikTok at least once a month, spreading an average of 95 minutes per day being engaged. My ex basically got taken over by TikTok. 5.5 hours a day. And people were telling me, of course, everyone's like, oh, women can never be wrong. And like that. I'm sorry. I had issues with it, and all of my issues were dismissed immediately. Even though TikTok was giving her bad ideas. TikTok was telling her I was a covert narcissist, and she confronted me about this. So anyone who actually knows anything about narcissism, mental health, knows that you never confront a narcissist with that information. It is freaking dangerous. But TikTok not only put her into that situation and told her to confront me, she's lucky I'm not a narcissist, because legitimately if I was, that would have put her and everyone else, including the children, into a dangerous situation. Now within this dangerous situation, TikTok needs to be held accountable. I mean, we got so many kids thinking that they have mental problems. Like, look at this. Like, you're seeing this, right? I know a lot of people are like, oh, I don't want to see this because I'm partially guilty because I let my kids go on it. You know, I'm guilty of things of my own. I'm guilty of minor things. Maybe I let my kids stay up a little extra and I let them have an extra sugar cookie. You know what I mean? Maybe every now and then I let my kid play a little bit of Grand Theft Auto for 5 or 10 minutes. But man, letting a kid have TikTok unabated is the same as letting them have access to Grand Theft Auto, 5. Actually, I think it's worse to have them on TikTok personally. Now I'm going to take a really big leap here, but follow me. A globalist and a Zionist, for example, are people who don't care about their country. They care about other things more than they care about their country. We get individuals who end up becoming globalists because they want what's best for other countries, though they live in some countries. And they see human suffering going on one side of the world, so they feel it's okay to siphon that off to another more rich side of the world because that rich society is bad and therefore deserves to... You see where I'm going with this. TikTok can be an incredible tool for raising awareness and resourcing stigma, but it also has a downside. It really does. It really does. Now, let's take a look over on Reddit, because I just want to put a line in the sand here for what people generally think of this. As obvious any professional in any field, social media rewards entertainment and charismatic personalities, not education. Yes, so that's definitely a problem we have in media. When I was in media class, I was taught that we need to make things that will get people up and moving and or do the thing and be protesters and stuff. And It almost seems like youth have such a hard time in the world these days that they need to lean on DEI the same way some people need to rely on lawsuits. As I'm going through my Popular Mechanics magazines from old to new, what I'm finding, what I'm finding is that it looked like so many people were trying so many things and then they kind of stopped. And if you wanted to do these things, you had to be with corporations or something. Almost, and then all of a sudden, more advertisements for lawsuits started popping up. Check it out. No shit. This is a bullshit problem that will never go away. And these content creators know they're lying. There's legitimately creators out there. It's interesting how these creators from, or people, I see these young kids discovering ADHD, discovering mental health issues, discovering autism, and then looking at the mental health world and seeing that more and more people are legitimately diagnosed with autism and all of this stuff. They're fitting the criteria because we're taking the definition and we're stretching it out. I wonder if maybe we need intersectionality to make people just realize everyone's a little bit different. Maybe we all just need to slow the frick down a little bit because we got everyone running so damn fast all the time. Anyone that came from the 30s, 40s, 50s could see that we have to work so damn hard to get almost nothing these days. And there was a time you could be at least afforded a piece of land that you could put a house on, but that system's been gamed too. Every system's been gamed. There is no outlet for the youth to go into a good direction, so it seems like the only thing you can do is fall on a broken knee. And then be like, hey, I'm disabled. I can't do anything because I'm disabled. Legitimately. Alright, so here we go. You're correct, observing that autism diagnosis has increased significantly over the year. Currently estimates, yada, yada, yada. Yeah, okay, so we're definitely getting a lot more identification. But here's the thing. We need to give these autistic kids things to do that will make them enough money to live. Just long enough that they can jump on their Xboxes and live through the internet. But it's getting more and more difficult to do that. TikTok misinformation is a really big problem. It's hurting our children. It's hurting our families. And it's good to see that Reddit is finally figuring this out because it used to just be attached to this virus that was everything as bad as as TikTok was. Every bit as bad. And I'll never forgive Reddit for that. But I'll just have to move on and find positive ways to influence society. Anyways, have a good one, folks. Take care of each other. Don't let your kids on TikTok